everybody? So this week I have to talk about one of the most dominant running backs that many of you probably forgot about. Who is that? That's no other than Priest Holmes. I think I was in high school when I saw an interview and Priest was talking about his love for the game of chess. And from that interview, I better understood how the game correlated to football, why Priest loved it, and just how it could take my game to the next level. See, when you understand the movement, you can control the board. And when you can control the board, you control the game. At running back, I learned that. When you get into the mind of the defense, particularly that linebacker, you can own them. Before we get into what Priest was able to accomplish, we must start out with laying the groundwork. Out of high school, Priest Holmes would be a 2,000-yard rusher, proving himself to not only understand how to play the position, but not to play it very well. But that 2,000-yard rushing would only lead him to be a backup to the great Ricky Williams at the University of Texas. His senior year, playing in the Big 12 championship, he would go on to rush for 120 yards and 3 touchdowns.
First down for the Horns. They'll run away from him this time. And they bust one. Touchdown, Texas. Oh, baby. There'll be no catching the Priest this time.
Although impressive, it would go on to 1998 to lead him to be an undrafted free agent, landing him in Baltimore playing for the Ravens. In that rookie year, he would still go on to have 1,000 yards. But there would be a change of leadership and a new head coach coming into town. In that 1999 season, although he would find himself backing up with Jamal Lewis, he would go on to average over 5.7 yards a carry and finding himself a Super Bowl champion as they will go on to win Super Bowl 35. Super Bowl ring, productive years, still just didn't drum up the amount of attention that he thought he would receive out of free agency. So what did the thinker do? Priest Holmes came up with a list of what he wanted out of an organization and how he could best suit him, he thought, as a player. So Priest Holmes would find himself in Kansas City, where he would go on to have a 3-year run that's envious of all running backs who ever played the game. In 2000 run, he would go on to rush for over 1,500 yards and 2,100 yards all-purpose. Back that up in year 2, 2002, he would have over 1,600 yards rushing and 2,200 yards total offense to have a nice record as well. He would go on to break the all-time single-season touchdown record. In a 3-year span, Priest Holmes would go on to rush for over 6,500 yards and 61 touchdowns. Not bad for a guy that would only find himself backing up with Jamal Lewis and Ricky Williams starting out his career. Priest Holmes, he showed me that no matter what circumstances were before me, there was a strategy to this game. He allowed me to see that no matter what I was going up against, no matter what I was dealing against, if I understand the pieces on the board and how they move, I could position myself to still be successful. I didn't know that in high school when I saw that interview, but it made a lot more sense that I would go out throughout and grow in my career. We could never control the circumstances we find ourselves in, but if you have a strategy, you have work ethic, your talent help you figure it out. And I must say, I owe that to Priest Holmes. He helped me see the game in a different lens. And for that, my man, kudos to you for having the greatest 3-year stretch run and possibly one of the smartest running backs to ever play the game.